Will you believe that a black firefighter was told to take his water hose and to hose protesters? He was told this by his boss. This black firefighter said, no, I am not doing that to protesters, okay? For obvious freaking reasons. Well, that firefighter was disciplined for not following the order of his boss. Let's put up a picture of this firefighter. There he is. Now, this was during a protest about the George Floyd murder. His name is Omar Wilkes. Omar Wilkes filed a lawsuit. The 13-page Brooklyn federal court filing details the alleged retaliation against FDNY veteran Omar Wilkes after the May 2020 confrontation with his boss and the firefighters' continued outspokenness over racism in the department. These defendants sought to muzzle the plaintiff and inhibit his speech, the court papers charged. They also retaliated against him for his speech and worked collectively to manufacture false claims against the plaintiff. It gets even deeper. This guy is an ordained minister. He is considered to be a stand-up person in his community. And when his boss told him to use the water hose in order to spray protesters, he said, I just can't do that, all right? The 41-year-old Wilkes, an 8-year fire veteran, was also an ordained minister, claimed that his supervisor instructed him and other firefighters to assist in controlling protesters by using the fire truck's water hoses. Wilkes objected and insisted that such an order not be followed. Good for him. The lawsuit said no fire hoses were used on protesters in the city, but noted no disciplinary action was taken against the official who allegedly called for their use. Now think about this, okay? This is a protest about racism, about authority misusing and abusing their power. This is about systemic oppression. This is about historic and current systemic oppression. And you're telling me that a supervisor at a fire department said, use that water hose, bringing back all of the memories of the 60s and beyond, creating an optic that would have been damning to that city and damning to that department if this brother would have followed through. He has saved this city. He saved that city money. He saved that city a horrible public relations nightmare. He saved that city. He stood up for what was right. But what happened to him? The culture that he's in did not stand up for him. According to Wilkes' suit, he also complained to department brass about the marginalization of black firefighters and the lack of diversity in the ranks. You don't say. Only to receive a summons to meet fire officials angered by his comments. What happened to this brother? What did they do to him? Because he refused to turn a water hose on protesters. They suspended him for 30 days. Wilkes was suspended for 30 days after protesting outside the headquarters and then reassigned to a post where he could no longer collect overtime pay, in addition to losing his income during his forced time off. The defendants also forced him to undergo counseling before his return to what's called a light duty assignment, according to court documents. This is what happens when you stand up for yourself and for others, and you do what's right inside of a culture that is hell bent on doing what they want to do. Dina, dog, does he have a case here?
He has quite a good case. If he can prove these allegations, this is kind of exactly the reason why free speech is protected with employees. If he worked at a private company, that would be one thing, but he's a state employee, which means he has First Amendment protection. And in order to show that he had his speech protected, he would have to say that he was speaking about a matter of public concern, which obviously this is. And the reason why we want to protect his speech is because government employees see things that the rest of us don't. So this is exactly the example where they want to protect the speech, because he raised the attention of this was happening in the department. The rest of us aren't going to know that. We don't have that kind of access. In order to overcome the suit, the New York Fire Department would have to show that somehow his speech was making an inefficient workplace and somehow it harmed the integrity of the workplace. That is going to be a very hard thing for them to show, that somehow him speaking out against, like you said, this protest, which meant so much, and doing such a harmful thing would somehow hurt their integrity. That's going to be hard for them to show. So yeah, if he can show, prove these allegations, I think he has quite a strong case.
Very well said.